If this outstanding resource is to be appropriately managed, commoners, landowners and interested agencies must all appreciate the need for informed decision-making and cooperation. A nationally acclaimed example of good practice in cooperation to ensure effective land management has been taking place for some years on Crosby Fell. On these 5,000 acres of internationally important common land, designated a European Special Area of Conservation, commoners have worked with the landowner on the first common stewardship scheme in the UK.
The most important aspect of the management of this particular common, Crosby Ravensworth Common, was the collaboration between the landlord and the graziers. We had the advantage here in that the common already had an active graziers association as a result of the motorway cutting through the common in 1969. This was absolutely vital when we came to discuss the management of the common and the attempt to try and restore the habitat which had been virtually destroyed by overgrazing over the last 30 or 40 years. All the members of the graziers took part in that management discussion with the landlord, and that coupled with English Nature and other conservation bodies with an interest in the habitat, the flora, the fauna and so on the moor.
Cumbrian commoners, whether individuals or in association, are now supported and represented by a federation. Encouraged by recent legislation, which will allow for statutory commons associations with greater powers to legally manage the commons, the Federation aims to promote a greater understanding of commons issues and to lobby for more significant participation in making and carrying out policies.
The principal role of the Federation of Cumbria Commoners is to support and protect the commons and the commoners of Cumbria, and to give them a voice and representation at meetings and in places where they previously had no voice.
The Federation has brought all of the different commons together, and we've been able to look at what are the issues that affect us all, and hopefully the Federation as an umbrella over the commons of Cumbria gives us a stronger voice when it comes to dealing with the various agencies and organisations that have an interest in what we do on the commons.
For too long, commons have been seen as an add-on, something to be fitted into a scheme that's been drawn up, probably with little regard to its practical consequences for commons. Hopefully, there are ways in which this can be improved in the future. For example, we'd like to see DEFRA create a central unit dealing with commons on a permanent basis, through which all proposed regulations, legislation, matters relating to hill farming would be vetted, if you like, as a way of getting commons to be considered at the early stage rather than as a type of optional extra, a rather an inconvenience even, that's got to be fitted somehow into schemes to which they're actually ill-suited.
This will help to ensure that commoners have a brighter future, and that by the application of appropriate policies, the commons will remain a valuable public resource, delivering public goods and providing a viable economic base for the hill farming communities for years to come.
If I go on the common, all my sheep and things, I often think of the people that worked these things in the past, and I think if they're abandoned or if we don't do the job properly, then we're betraying what the people have done before, really, I think. And I think the commons and the hill farming culture and the communities are all built around the commons, and they bind the people together, so they're an important thing for today, but also for the future. These commons will be there tomorrow, and in 100 years they'll still be here, and so they need managing. However we farm them, or whatever we keep on them, or whatever we do with them, we have to keep them for the future.